Okay, this is a video tutorial about how to play the bridge or instrumental section of You Are Good. Okay, so let's get right to it. Here are the chords that you will use. You'll use the E5 chord that I showed earlier in the first You Are Good tutorial. You'll see it on the chord form sheet. And then the next chord is G5, and then an A chord, an A5 chord, kind of a rock and roll A. Okay, so it sounds like this. And that A chord, I'm just barring a couple strings here at the second fret to get those two typical, you know, the 5 and the 1 in the key of A there, and then play the root open string with it. I don't play this note up here, and I don't play the open E string with that chord. I just make it sound like a rock and roll chord. All these chords have no thirds in them in this section of the song. Okay. Then in the next group, the next group of chords starts out with an E, that same E5 chord, and then I play a D5 chord by playing a D shape without using the top string at all. I'm actually hovering above that top E, you know, the high E string with my middle finger. I'm not even touching the string. I'm muting the high E string with my second finger. And then I'll play the open D string, and a lot of times I'll hit the open A string, and you get a pretty strong D5 chord. You get nothing but roots and fifths that way. Okay. So we have the E chord, and then that D5 chord, and then I play an A over C sharp, and that's that rock and roll A. And sometimes I'll catch the third of it, but in this case I usually don't get much of it. But I will play the third in the bass by getting that with my third finger. So I bar the A chord with my first finger, I add the third of the chord on the 4th fret of the A string with my third finger. You'll see that in a diagram. Very useful shape to know how to do. Okay, so those 3 chords together sound like this. Okay, and then we just have 2 more on the end. It's a C power chord and then a B power chord, just a half step lower. Okay, so in that section of the song, here are the chords in slow motion. That's the first group. Then the next group starts off the same chord, then a D5, A over C sharp, and then we follow it up with the C power chord, and then a B power chord. Here we go. So here it is, kind of up to speed. Well, a little slower than up to speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, 3, and okay. There's always more than one way to play any section of a song, usually. Another way to do this section is to just play regular chord shapes. You know, you can play, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, really. The second part, you know, after, let's see, like from the middle section on to the end of it, you could do this way. You could play with this shape and just keep moving down the neck like this. So imagine playing this. 1, 2, 3, and all those chords I just was moving the same shape right down the neck. And that would sound fine in that section too. So I think I included all those shapes on the chord diagram sheet, so have fun working on it. In the very end of the song, I've got a couple more shapes to show you, so I'll do that in the next video.